A Seattle couple says a thief damaged two of their vehicles in 2 days' time. This started on Tuesday, June 23rd. That's when they say someone knocked on their door interested in taking a look at the Ford truck that was for sale in their driveway. Now, they say once they showed that person the truck, they turned their back for a moment, and they say the prospective buyer jumped in and took off. They got away with the truck, but the very next day, the owner sees the vehicle on the road and follows it. They say that the driver of the truck rammed into them, damaging their other car, a Subaru. Well, from there, they let that driver go, but did take their story to an online community site, and tips came in, more sightings of the truck. That led the couple to exactly where it was. It was parked, empty, no sign of the thief. But now they are working with their insurance company to fix not one, but two vehicles.
3 Southwest Washington dental practices have agreed to pay more than $1 million after investigations into their Medicaid billing practices. According to Washington Attorney General's office, 2 of the practices billed Medicaid for treatments that investigators say were actually over-the-counter ibuprofen, and a third was accused of billing for procedures without proper documentation or medical necessity. Together, the settlements total more than $1 million and involve dental offices in Camas and Vancouver.
Better?
Much better.
Good.
I'm walking.
Yeah. Yeah, walking well.
Yesterday, Ken Conley got to meet the Renton police officer who helped save his life. Back in April, Officer Greg Bills was called to the scene of an unresponsive man in a car. As witnesses performed CPR, Officer Bills ran to his car to get an AED and used it on Conley before paramedics arrived. Doctors say those quick actions helped save Conley's life.
The U.S. hosting the World Cup is creating some unique opportunities for cultural exchange, but foreign fans have dealt with some problems taking some of the U.S. back home. Their newfound love of ranch dressing forced the TSA to put out a warning to make sure that they're checking their bottles in the checked baggage instead of, putting them in their carry-ons.
I love this.
Now UPS is offering some help with a new ship and dip discount. Its website is offering a 20% off coupon that's good through September. Kraft says it's even working on a TSA compliant version of the famous dressing.
Truly
so you can
American.
get like a travel size bottle of ranch dressing.
It's kind of like hand sanitizer.
Don't mix it up with your shampoo.
That's true.
I'm telling you, the solution to this, powdered ranch.
Now, scientists say the stifling heat wave gripping Western Europe is the most severe ever recorded. Temperatures do remain high, not only here in France, but across Western Europe. The hospitals in the capital at a breaking point. There have been dozens of cases of cardiac arrest, and authorities do not want to put any more pressure on those hospitals. They've started banning drinking alcohol in public spaces. They've also banned takeaway alcohol starting this evening throughout the weekend. The Pride Parade was meant to be held tomorrow in Paris, and that usually draws tens of thousands of people. That has now been delayed till September. We're seeing cooling areas for families, cooling baths in the street for people suffering from heat stroke and sunstroke. Now, scientists say the stifling heat wave gripping Western Europe is the most severe ever recorded. In Spain, public health officials believe up to 500 people may have been killed by this heat wave, and that is based not on a register, but based on previous mortality and temperature records. In the UK, London's ambulance service said Thursday it recorded its highest ever number of life-threatening emergencies just in one day. The Netherlands issuing its first ever red alert for heat, and Switzerland registering its hottest day ever in June. Now, temperatures have started to dip here as this heat wave starts moving towards Eastern Europe.
Chris is very happy today.
Yeah.
He's in a very good mood because this is his Friday.
Well, sometimes, Paul, you can't rely all your happiness on the Mariners. Be heading down to beautiful Westport, doing some fishing with my dad and my son. And Paul, I'm excited. I'll get a stop off tonight at beautiful Aberdeen for a little dinner. And
Man.
and you gave me a couple of great spots to hang out in Aberdeen tonight. Grab a little burger.
I've been told that Billy's is a good, reliable place to stop. Messy Jesse.
Messy Jesse's or Billy's.
There you go. So look for Chris Egan tonight, and also look him at the next Chamber of Commerce meeting because he will be there blowing the horn for Grays Harbor. That's awesome.
Hey, I mean, Westport's a fun place to be.
Beautiful place to be this time of year, for
Good
sure.
fishing. The weekend's going to be sold out. I think they got salmon days going on down there. So
you are ready to go.
I'm ready.
We're in Magnolia, and we're here because Bazaar Brewing makes really fabulous malt-forward beers.
We're focused on doing a lot of characterful, lower ABV styles. Most of our beer is going to be under 6% alcohol.
On our visit, I tried their Black Nettle, a scout brew with stinging nettle, served on a classical hand pull.
You like that?
Yeah.
I think
Derek is the guy behind Bazaar Brewing.
So this is where all the magic happens, huh?
This is where it all happens. Yeah. I started homebrewing basically right when I turned 21. I was homebrewing for about 10 years before I started working professionally as a brewer. Every single part I'm in love with.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
driving down Aurora these days is just, I shake my head. It's gotten so bad.
Donna Latin, a longtime business owner on Aurora Avenue, says the area is no stranger to violence, but a Tuesday night shooting is raising new alarms.
It's just sad. It's heartbreaking.
Just before 11 p.m., a 15-year-old took a bullet to the torso and kept driving. He traveled nearly a dozen blocks along Aurora before spotting firefighters and pulling over for help.
There was a passenger in the rear of the car who was manipulating a firearm and accidentally shot the driver.
Witnesses scattered while surveillance cameras rolled. Now investigators are piecing it together with little help.
A lot of parties are not cooperating right now.
Yeah.
For Donna, it's one more incident in a long pattern of chaos, with human trafficking and bullets hitting her block. But businesses here fought back. More than a year ago, they demanded change.
Once the city put the barrier up, it's changed 100% on this block, but unfortunately they've moved down further south.
Recently, in response, along this stretch of Aurora, neighbors documented the violence. They voiced their concerns, then took action, building their own barriers. The city has since put in temporary traffic installations, an experiment to see if it will calm the corridor.
How it may improve the area from traffic going through there.
As for businesses here, some are offering city leaders an open invitation.
See what we're talking about. See where the bullets are coming from. See the parking lot where it's so easy to drive in and shoot across the street. We need something fixed, definitely.
Oh man, it's so exciting. About 10 years ago when I joined the Cape Verdean Allegiance, it was their plan was to help build athletics in that country. Back then, when I would visit, and I visit many times, but when I would go there, you would see people in the streets just, everybody's fit, man. It's just part of their lifestyle. Playing soccer was a big deal for them, right? And they made this plan that they laid out to help build athletics in Cape Verde. And I started it off back in 2016. I was the first one to make it to the semifinals, and they celebrated like it was a tie in FIFA, man. It was so exciting for our entire country. And then moving on, fast forwarding 10 years later, in Paris, we scored our first Olympic medal. We got a bronze medal in boxing. Shout out to David Pina. And then now, here we are, again, 10 years later, at the FIFA World Cup. They qualified, and they're not just qualifiers, but they're contenders now. Yep. And it's amazing to see how much excitement is building around a country that I love.
Yeah, a lot of excitement, Jordan. And as we mentioned, you're a two-time Olympian. You're now a chiropractor in Seattle. You're helping people out. I did notice on your Instagram, you even spent a little time with the most famous goalie in the world right now, Vozinha. How impressive has this 40-year-old goaltender been for you guys?
Oh, man, it's beyond impressive. To be at 40 years old, to make it to the big stage, right? That's something every athlete from every level dreams about, right? And so if we get the opportunity to really seize that moment, it's like, man, I can't be more proud of that. And again, to be at 40 years old, like people don't understand how much of an achievement that is. I played a rec game of flag football about a month ago and ruptured my Achilles just like that, man. And I'm in shape. I'm still I've only been out the game for a few years here, man. So to see him at 40 years old thriving, it's honestly, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's definitely fun to watch, Jordan.
Welcome to Seattle's Soccer House, located at Pacific Place in the heart of downtown Seattle. They're welcoming fans for an incredible FIFA World Cup 2026 match day experience. This totally free event is all ages. It's an experience that transforms 27,000 square feet of Pacific Place into an immersive fan destination, celebrating the corner of Northwest culture and soccer. And best of all, no tickets or pre-registration for entry. And with 3-story screens, you need an escalator just to get to the top of the party. Towering screens, plenty of restrooms, and glorious air conditioning. Seattle's Soccer House might just be the best spot to take in the next match.
It's a heart for my favorites. Yes, 2 on her belly. Ready? Oh, you got it.
For America's 250th anniversary celebration, the U.S. Mint announced today it is releasing a limited edition quarter. It'll pay tribute to the Declaration of Independence. On the front is our third president, Thomas Jefferson, the main author of the Declaration of Independence. And on the back, a ringing Liberty Bell with its signature crack. These quarters will be put into circulation in time for the 4th of July.
So you may have heard about the Mason County man who was arrested by the FBI, accused of being one of the planners of that alleged terror plot on the White House lawn. A week ago Sunday, there was that big UFC event to celebrate the nation's birthday and President Trump's 80th birthday. Well, there was this elaborate plan to use drones with explosives. And according to the investigators from the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force, there was a 21-year-old from Mason County, William Faulkner, who offered up some they said expertise might be a stretch, but at least offered some advice and said that he could get his hands on explosives. We went out to his house in Mason County. His grandmother, who he lived with, did not want to speak with us. We also looked into some social media accounts that were in the court documents, including an Instagram page where allegedly after the first round of arrests, he sent a message to someone on Instagram saying, "Hey, if you see me on the news, I did that and I stand by it." He faces potentially life in prison.
For the Nippon Dynawave disaster in Longview, state records show there was a problem, a leak, on the same tank that spilled white liquor and killed 11 people. And records show the leak had been documented for nearly a year. In December of 2023, an inspection identified that a safety valve on the top of the tank was leaking. The valve, known as a pressure vacuum relief breaker, lets gas escape from the white liquor tank, also known as a G tank.
Mexican Americans in Seattle are having a World Cup moment. The city is home to an estimated 35 to 40,000 people with Mexican roots. Expand that to King County, and it's more than 163,000 people with Mexican heritage. And it has led to jam-packed watch parties in Seattle and beyond. Pioneer Square, packed. The waterfront, packed. Local bars, same story.
This is personal. You know, like after everything that has been going through in the country and everything, seeing everyone being so passionate about where they're coming from and how much they love their country, it means a lot. And like, I'm just so proud of being Mexican. And
because it's culture, you know, this brings everyone together and it's just like unites everyone.
Why is everyone wearing pink cleats at the World Cup? Seriously, once you notice it, you can't unsee it. In the tournament's opening match between Mexico and South Africa, all but 3 of the starters wore some shade of pink on their feet. Since then, the trend has been everywhere, from stars like Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland to players from countries like Cape Verde and Curacao. And it isn't just one brand. Adidas has Solar Turbo, Puma has Poison Pink, and Nike has its own bright pink designs. So, why pink? Manufacturers say players increasingly want bold colours that stand out on the pitch. Nike says bright colours like pink project confidence, and players often feel like you have to be pretty good to pull them off. There's also a business reason. In an era where players are brands themselves, bright cleats help the athletes and the companies sponsoring them to stand out to millions of fans around the world. Though ironically, pink has become so popular at this World Cup that players wearing almost any other colour are now the ones standing out.
The guy making all that racket now has the title to back it after being named the world's loudest man by Guinness World Records. 58-year-old Joseph McGrail Baitup is an honorary town crier from Canberra, Australia, who shattered a nearly 3-decade-old record when he stepped into a recording booth and let it rip, hitting an astonishing measured level of 122.4 decibels. That's about the same intensity as a jet engine, for crying out loud. Out loud is not how McGrail Baitup was crying following his record-breaking roar. He told the AP his voice was shot for days.
This is Peppercorn. The endangered Florida Panther kitten was found malnourished and sick after being abandoned 2 weeks earlier by her mother. Fish and Wildlife said in a Facebook post that it rescued the little cat in March at 8 weeks old, weighing less than 3 pounds, sending it to the Naples Zoo for care. After months of TLC, the zoo says Peppercorn is doing a whole lot better. Veterinarians at the zoo say a refeeding and treatment plan helped her bounce back, and she's now topping 20 pounds. Peppercorn missed her window to learn crucial survival skills, meaning she can't go back to the wild. Once she's ready, she'll be sent to another zoo to be an ambassador for Florida Panther conservation efforts.
I came up to the top of this parking garage downtown in Seattle to get a look at this. A parade of Bosnia and Herzegovina soccer fans taking over Seattle right now. I just shot a ton of great video showing this incredible gathering. I honestly have to tell you, I did not expect this many Bosnian soccer fans to be converging on Seattle right now. Watch for the video soon. I'm going to take you down into the crowd, but I had to show you this incredible view here. You've got the waterfront. Seattle is just glowing. Just listen to that for a second. That's pride for your country right there. What a day in Seattle for the World Cup.
Seattle police are investigating after a 15-year-old was shot while driving along Aurora Avenue. Now, this happened on Tuesday, June 23rd, around 10:45 p.m. Initially, police say they received reports about a possible drive-by shooting. Investigators now believe that someone inside the 15-year-old's vehicle accidentally shot him in the torso. The 15-year-old was able to pull over near 105th and Aurora, where he saw firefighters. They were able to help him, get him to Harborview. That's where he's recovering. Police say that witnesses inside the vehicle fled. They're still trying to figure out exactly what led up to this shooting, and they're asking people with information to give them a call.